The three most common complaints I hear from people about their sleep is one, they can't fall asleep. Two, they wake up through the night often. And three is that they can maybe fall asleep and stay asleep, but then when they wake up, they're really tired and unrefreshed. So in today's video, I wanted to kind of break down these three complaints that I hear all the time and just give you some tips and maybe some education of what might be happening. So then you can start creating better sleep for yourself. For those who don't know me, my name is Carol Richard. I am the founder of the Sleep Success Academy. I love helping sleep-deprived individuals get better sleep for themselves. And we do this by looking at the three components to better sleep. We really get clear on the emotional well-being, which is the state of our nervous system and our emotions that we feel. The second thing we look at is our mindset, which is our thoughts and beliefs and what is our mind telling us either about our sleep or about life. And the last one is looking at our behaviors. Because once we get clear on regulating our nervous system, what our thoughts and beliefs are, and switching our mindset, behaviors tend to automatically adjust. But then sometimes we might need some education on the behaviors that we're doing that is affecting our sleep. So if you want to know more about those three components, I actually created a free presentation. It's on my website, sleepsuccessacademy.com. If you go under the free resource tab, you'll see where you can sign up to get a copy of that recording in your email box, and you can teach yourself more about the three components to better sleep. And for some of you, that might be enough to watch this presentation and you'll get, oh, this is what I need to change or do different for myself in order to get better sleep. But in today's video, I really wanted to look at the three basic complaints that I hear all the time, and break them down one by one, giving you some insight of what I know. And there could be more than what I'm sharing, but this is just kind of my point of view, and see if any of this resonates for you. So complaint number one is I can't fall asleep. When we struggle with sleep, falling asleep can be so difficult. We might be tired, but we have this wired feeling, or we're tired and we're sleepy, and then we go to bed and boom, we just wake up instantly. I just recently created a video on that. What is happening when you walk into your bedroom and all of a sudden you wake up? And what I see the most is the state of our nervous system. And our nervous system is this beautiful part of us that allows us to get out of danger when there's a danger. But in our society, in our world, everything is perceived as a danger when it truly isn't a physical danger anymore. And that's what happens often when we walk into our bedroom. And in that last video, I talk about um, walking into your bedroom and feeling like there's a tiger sitting on your bed when there isn't, and how that is creating the fear and the anxiety that is then stopping you from sleeping. So this first complaint, I can't fall asleep, I would ask you to then look inside yourself and ask yourself, what am I thinking of when I go to bed that I can't sleep? Is it that now my bedroom is causing me the anxiety and the fear because I won't sleep because I've had so many previous nights like that? Or is it that you had an event happen that day? Did somebody make a comment that rubbed you the wrong way? And now you've got all this anger that is unprocessed because you're playing that in your mind over and over. Or is it because you have just too much work to do and there's not enough time in the day, therefore you're not setting proper time boundaries? It will be individual to each and every one of us, the reason we can't fall asleep. And in the Better Sleep community, that's what we do. I teach you all the tools for you to then get curious with yourself to actually be able to pinpoint the root cause that you're not sleeping. And then we have the tools of tapping, orienting, to help you then re-regulate your nervous system or switch your mindset if that's what's needed in order to get that sleep. So that's complaint number one. Complaint number two, people always say, well, I can fall asleep, but then I wake up through the night. And I would say it's a lot of the same as not being able to fall asleep, except that now maybe your mindset, if we just look at the mindset issue on this one, your mindset might be that I can fall asleep easily. So that's an empowering belief. But then it's like, but I wake up through the night. That's the limiting belief. And with our belief system, believe it or not, like we feel like it's a fact, and it is for us. But having that belief creates then the experience. So if that's what my belief is, then of course, when I wake up, I'm going to have a hard time falling asleep again because my mind is set that when I wake up, then that's it. I can't go back to sleep. So that's one possibility. You also have to look at what happens when you wake up. So is it that you're waking up because you have pain? Are you waking up and then your mind starts ruminating right away? Are you waking up because maybe it's because tomorrow I have an early flight to catch and I've missed a flight before, or I'm afraid of missing a flight. So I'm having all these things happen internally that is causing me that when I wake up, I can't go back to sleep because then my mind has kicked in. Again, how do we deal with that? We do some tapping. I do have some videos on when you should get out of bed or when you should stay in bed. I'll link those in the description below. So, is it that you're going to stay there and create this negative sleep association with your bed where now your mind thinks that it's an okay place to ruminate and worry in the middle of the night? Or are you willing to do something about it? Get out of bed, go to your couch, do some tapping, write things down, calm your nervous system so you can go back to sleep. And then teach your mind and body that it's safe to be asleep all night. And if we're not going to sleep, we're just going to get out of bed and do this process. And my experience for myself, because if I go through 1 or 2 nights where I'm struggling with sleep because something big is happening in my life, I'll follow this process. And yes, it's difficult. And yes, for those few nights, I am getting less sleep, but it's like a short-term pain for a long-term gain. And I know that for myself, that's how it works. And some of my clients, they've done this and it's worked for them, but we use tapping. We don't just go sit on the couch or keep with the frustration. We name it, we tap through it. In the Better Sleep community, again, we learn this one specific technique called holding the truth tapping. And then we explore what we feel in the 5 channels of expression. So there is ways to help you fall asleep again. So that's complaint number 2. Complaint number 3 that I hear a lot is people are able to sleep, but they still wake up really unrefreshed in the morning. They wake up tired and groggy, and they're assuming they're getting enough sleep, and I assume that as well. But what could be happening? The first thing I would say if that happens to you is go in and see your doctor and see if you can't get tested for sleep apnea. Because even though part of my coaching has nothing to do with sleep conditions, because we're really looking at those 3 components. If you have sleep apnea, this would be a symptom that you would wake up feeling tired because you're waking up through the night every time you stop breathing and then you start breathing again. That is disrupting your sleep. And so there's nothing I can do about that to guide you to feel refreshed in the morning if you have sleep apnea. So go get tested. And if that's the case, then you can just get a machine and you'll feel better. And then you might want to use tapping for the frustration of having to wear the machine, feeling maybe claustrophobic when the machine's on your face. There's still a space for tapping and helping your emotional well-being and your mindset and your belief. Maybe your belief is I can't sleep with that machine on my face. Well, then you can still benefit from the program to help you sleep better using a machine. So that's one reason people wake up feeling unrefreshed. The second one has to do with the state of our nervous system. So there's 3 states to the nervous system. One is that we are calm, social engagement state where we just feel good. Then we have the activation, which is the fight or flight, which is the anxiety, the anger, the frustration, all those emotions, but also excitement. It's in there, right? It's anything that brings an activation in the nervous system, whether good or bad. There's both here, because sometimes I've been excited and thinking, oh my God, why do I have anxiety right now? But it wasn't anxiety, it was excitement. It still makes your heart rate go faster. It still makes you kind of jittery, but on a positive way, right? So we get into that activation. And if we can't manage that fight or flight energy, then we're going to go into the freeze state because it's just too overwhelming to the nervous system. Therefore, we kind of freeze on top of that fight or flight energy. And when we're really tired, sometimes what happens when we go to bed, we're going to bed and we're frozen, like our nervous system, I should say, is frozen. It's in this freeze state. So, yes, I will pass out and be dead to the world. But underneath that sleep, there's all this activation from the fight or flight. And so I might sleep all night and not move, but because I'm in the parasympathetic, which is the free state of the nervous system, I'm not getting that deep, refreshing sleep because I need to be able to go to sleep being in social engagement state in order to have the best outcome for my body to regenerate and to get refreshing sleep. So I hope I made sense with that. It's a deeper concept, and in all the nervous system studying that I've done and learning, it's so true because even for me, when and it's awesome that our nervous system freezes. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's too much emotions and overwhelming, so it has to. And it now I say thank you when my nervous system does that because it is protecting me. But that can lead to unrefreshing sleep. So just be aware of that. And again, how do we deal with that is by actually doing the work that we do in the Better Sleep community. Another reason we might wake up feeling unrefreshed is we're spending too much time in bed. And this would be the third reason I see. Our body really only needs between 6 to 9 hours of sleep. Most people it's 7.5. And it depends on your body's need, but it also depends on what is going on in your life. I know most of the time I sleep 7.5. Once in a while, I might have a few nights of 9 hours because I need more. And then I notice after I've had that good 9 hours sleep and really restored my body, then I might only need 6 for a few nights. So, but I always go between 6, 7.5, and 9. And I'm picking those times because a sleep cycle is roughly 90 minutes. So if I do 6 hours, that's 4 complete sleep cycles. If I do 7.5 hours, that's 5 complete sleep cycles. And if I do 9, that is 6 complete sleep cycles. And we never want to wake up in the middle of a sleep cycle if we can avoid it. So that's why sometimes an alarm clock is not the best because it wakes us up in the middle of a sleep cycle. So that could be a reason you feel groggy as well or not refreshed because you're actually waking up in that time where you're either in deep sleep or REM sleep. So if you're trying to get enough sleep, but you stay in bed, say for 12 hours, then you're in bed too long and you'll never wake up refreshed. Same as if it's too little. So really it's about prioritizing and personalizing your sleep. How much do you need in order to wake up feeling refreshed? So those are kind of 3 examples that you can look at. Does it match for you or not? So this video might be a little bit longer than I had planned when I hit record, but I hope it's great information that can help you start to figure out why you're struggling with sleep. As always, you can reach out to me, support@sleepsuccessacademy.com, and let's get to the root cause of why you're not sleeping. Because if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're struggling with sleep. And I know I've been there, and it's my mission now to help people figure out why they can't sleep.